All right. So, this is Sound Off Pet Peeves, and I have Daniel, my husband's older brother, here. He has, right now, he has 10 pet peeves. We've covered that before I started recording, but I won't say them. So, Daniel, I'm going to tell you when it hits 9:03 here, and that's when you can start saying your first pet peeve.
Okay.
All right. So, now.
Okay. The first one that jumped to mind was people standing around in high traffic areas, like people congregating around entrances to buildings or like bottlenecks and whatnot, and they just stand around and they yak, and they're just annoying as hell. And people have lives that they're trying to get on with, and they can't because people are just milling around right where other people need to be going. It's terrible.
Any comments, Jake?
I guess this also pertains to amblers ambling about.
Yeah, it's like a more sedentary ambling.
Yeah. No, I know what you're talking about. I guess slow walkers kind of fits the bill too.
Right. I suppose that's a more general way of putting it. But this is in the specific sense of like, if you have a major public building, and again, I notice it a lot in my line of work, but I think it's pretty general where there's one entrance or exit, and that's where people will stop to say, hey, and talk about all the bullshit they want to talk about.
Next.
How colorful can the language be, Leah?
Very colorful.
Oh, that's fucking great.
Use all your greens and purples.
All right.
Hey, we're losing time. Go. All right, go.
Oh, for the next one?
Yep.
Okay. Lateness. It's really, maybe it's a martinet kind of tendency. I don't know, because I'm not really all that disciplined in the rest of my life. But I really, really hate it when people are late to agreed upon things. It is such a, I don't know, it feels like they don't take my time seriously. And it's kind of, I don't know, like I have a lot of friends who don't feel the same way, and I try not to take it personally. But I take it moderately personally every time. I really can't stand it.
Oh.
It sounds to me, Daniel, like you just can't get along with polychronic culture.
Polychronic culture, yes.
Yes, it might be I'm just a little too, Northern European. I got that whole North Sea ethnicity thing, and I need to break out, I guess. But until then, please arrive at a place when you say you're going to arrive at it. That's all I'm asking.
I thought that's what the Germans cared about, but I guess they go further north. All right, so next one.
Related to lateness in general is being made late by other people. And again, I'm starting to sound more and more like a real so-and-so. But it is really annoying to me if I am having to sort of herd a bunch of people between two areas, or I'm in charge of getting someone somewhere and they are late or are otherwise somehow delaying me. It's just really super annoying because it ties into the being annoyed with other people being late. I also, I'm not just a hard ass, I have ethics. I want to practice what I preach, and they're preventing me from practicing my preaching.
Yep, nothing worse than that. And Dale, I can honestly agree with you on this one. I don't want to throw Leah under the bus here, though, but we are often late, and it's usually not something I'm doing.
Well, he never calls me out on it when we get there, so, I mean...
That seems a little... Jake, I would say, you might want to moderate that. I mean, save that for behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't want to do that in public.
All right, next.
Well, this next one, and I would be so embarrassed if there have been unconscious examples that I've been doing this whole time, but uptalk. This is the linguistic phenomenon of when people talk like everything's a question, and they keep going like this. And once I start noticing someone talking like that in that kind of pattern, I just really hone in on it, and I can't ignore it, and it gets really annoying to me. And again, it's the kind of thing that I had kind of a hard time coming up with a list of peeves, because every time I would come up with something, I'd be like, oh, should I really be that hard on people? I don't know if I should. Because I'm sure there are people who can't help the habit that they have with the uptalk thing, but my goodness, just ending, like, everything is like this is super grating.
Is that is that related to like a mental issue or something, or is that just a...
Not really. It's sort of, I actually did a little research on this one.
Oh, you tell.
And it was first noted in kind of the Valley Girl sort of complex of culture traits. You know, the famous Valley Girls of the 80s in their way of talking and adding like as a placeholder, and also ending statements with that, you know, the uptalk part. Yeah, it's not really associated with any kind of like mental disorder or like Tourette's or anything that I know of. It's just it's like a cultural thing.
Okay, well, I let you extend a little on that one because your explanations are always really thorough and good. So,
thank you.
All right, so next.
My next one it's kind of specific. It may be a little thing, but have you ever been on the internet and you're just scrolling through and you see a banner ad that says, "This one weird trick will help you lose weight," or "One weird trick to save on power. Power companies hate this."
Oh,
or,
yeah, dude, power companies hate that guy.
hate this. That kind of marketing tactic is really just awful to me. I hate it when it's being used on me, because I saw one that I'll never forget that was one weird trick to slice your grocery bills by 90%. Grocery stores hate this.
Oh man.
I have to think, like, okay, like, I don't agree with it, but I understand where hating the power company or, you know, snooty professors comes from. But, like, who really wants to stick it to grocery stores? I don't know. It's really, it's really awful. And also, there's never, anyone listening, there is never any one weird trick to anything, ever. If anyone ever tells you that, they're selling you snake oil.
Look, you know, people love shortcuts, and they love tricks, so why not just, like, appeal to them? I can see how this advertising totally works. I mean, it doesn't work on me, but sure.
Here's one weird trick to make your advertising really effective.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, next.
Marketers hate him.
Next, people not using their turn signals. What the fuck?
Oh right? My god!
You're helping me help you stay alive. Okay, that's what it's about. Let me know what you're trying to do, and we'll see if we can work something out in the sort of the touch and go highway system. But, you know, just use the damn turn signal. Like, I can't fathom where the thought process is where someone thinks this is totally not worth mildly moving my hand in order to help someone not kill me.
I think you're completely right about that one. Okay, so next.
This is another one that came from my line of work. I'm a librarian. But people not reading publicly posted signs that contain the very information they're complaining about. Mm-hmm. This is extremely common in where I work, where we have a self-checkout machine, like you might have at, say, Walmart or whatever. We have one at the library. And this particular machine prints out receipts that you have to tuck into the little pockets in the back of every book. And we have a sign, a very clearly labeled sign right next to the machine that says this. No one ever reads it. They always try to walk out of the library and, like, get caught by the theft detector because they didn't put the little slips in the pockets, and it beeps, and we have to call them back. And I did have one gentleman come back, and we explained to him, like, hey, you have to put those things in the pockets which sets the alarm off. And he instantly shot back, well, there wasn't a sign. And I couldn't resist showing him the sign. I probably shouldn't have done that. But.
No, you should have. That was actually more professional than not showing.
Thank you.
Right?
Yeah.
Sure.
It's part of my job as a disseminator of information.
I mean, we have that at the High Museum. We have a sign up now that says we're at the High Museum, and people walk into the High Museum and ask if they're in the High Museum.
And well, you know, they're very busy. They can't use turn. They're too busy for turn signals and reading signs.
That's true. Well,
it's the go-go 90s.
I don't know. All right, next.
Small dogs.
Okay.
Basically anything like a dog that's like the size of a cat, you know, or smaller. Like, I don't get it. I don't get the point. They're never good dogs. They're always terrible, and I hate them. And I don't care if that makes me unpopular with people who own chihuahuas or whatnot. You know, whatever. They don't deserve life. They're horrible.
Oh. What about the real cute ones that are just scared all the time and just want to snuggle?
No, they're the worst because they're scared all the time and they will yap. They won't snuggle. They won't shut up. They're terrible. Awful animals. No reason for them to exist. They're truly one of the more grotesque inventions of man tampering in God's domain.
Oh my god. Cats are the same size. I just don't get how their demeanor is so different. I guess they just have better wired brains or something. They're just
they chill out, you know.
Yeah.
Cool.
I've lost track of how many you have, but if you have another one next.
That was the original list I had of the ones that we determined before the recording started. I'm rescinding one because the service that we're using, I don't, for copyright purposes, we won't mention, I suppose, has actually turned out to be very nice.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I really like it. But the one that we did hit upon, motor mouth, and talking way too fast that I have. But also, you know what? I'm thinking about it. I don't like it when other people do it to me. So I don't know. Maybe I'm a hypocrite. Maybe I need, maybe a pet peeve that I need to work on is my selfness. But anyway, yeah, motor mouthing. Slow it down, people.
Yep, I'm gonna have to start calling you Pot, because you're calling the kettle black. All right.